Hey guys, Meiven here. Welcome to the channel. If you guys are new here, I am a first-year aerospace engineering student at the University of Liverpool. And today, as you guys can see by the title, we are going to be talking about my 5 biggest regrets of my high school life and what I would do differently if I was able to go back and change my sixth form self. Anyway, let's get into it. So, for my first regret that I have written here is not putting enough effort into school and education. Now, this is one I actually really do regret because it's actually made life harder for me as a student coming into university in sixth form. And I was typically one of those students that never really cared too much. I kind of chose to take it for granted and not put in the work to be able to succeed in my educational life. And I kind of wish I put more effort into it because I was pretty much addicted to games and playing video games a lot. I would constantly get home and play for 6-7 hours a day, and that was really detrimental to my grades and my classes. I ended up actually getting a U in my first maths exam, and that was probably one of my lowest points in my education. After that, I came to the realization that once you're in A levels, especially for you younger gears here, once you're in A levels, you cannot take it for granted. You have to put in the work. You have to start organizing yourself here. You can't get by just with your knowledge alone and doing the bare minimum. You have to do way more if you want to go into a career path that you want to go into. If I could go back and force myself to even study just a little bit more every day, I would do it in a heartbeat. And it would make my life so much more easier. 100%, my life would be so much easier if I had just taken school way more seriously than I did. Okay, so for my second regret that I have written down here, it's not asking enough questions / not asking for enough help, especially when I needed it. And this was a thing way back when I was in primary school. I never asked anyone for help, so to speak. And the only time I'd ever receive it if it was obvious that I was showing that I needed help, if that makes sense. I was genuinely having this look on my face I was struggling to get a question done. That's the only real times anyone has ever come to me. Or if I was forced into saying I needed help, as in I got picked randomly to answer a question and I genuinely didn't know how to answer it. Those were the only times I ever managed to actually get any help. And my advice here is that to everyone that's studying right now, asking for help is not a bad thing. We are in a school, we are in an educational system to learn, and there are people that are teaching us right now that have the knowledge that we are seeking for. So why not ask them for that knowledge? And this is kind of a weird thing for me because I don't know why I kind of had this weird dilemma within myself that I just wouldn't ask for help. I think it might have been pride, it might have been some other internal factors within me, but I kind of wish that I did ask for more help because I think it would have just given me way more confidence in my subjects and given me way more knowledge than I have now. Because asking for help directly from someone who can give you an immediate response is way easier, way faster, way simpler to do than searching and spending hours and hours of time online, on websites, on forums, on whatever media there is on the internet in order to come to the same conclusion you would have gotten if you had just asked a teacher or an expert in the field. Okay, so moving on to number 3. Here is, I didn't speak aloud enough, nor did I participate that much in my classes. And this is sort of more of a confidence thing than an actual life lesson to give anyone. But for me personally, I kind of wish I spoke way more in my classes and showed more enthusiasm and confidence within my classes. There was this sort of stigma in my school where people who seemed to know a lot about their subject would be frowned upon or seen as the teacher's pet or some sort. I know names were given in my school, and maybe it's just a society thing, but I kind of wish I had learned to not give a damn about what people thought back then, and that people are way too self-absorbed in their own things to be able to give a damn about your own life. So why should you worry about what they think about you? I kind of wish I had that kind of mentality back when I was way back in year 1, in fact. Would have been way easier to not distort my sense of reality then. Now this next piece of regret / advice applies more so to those applying to university or are in sixth form right now, but I guess it could apply if it is applicable to you if you're in the lower years, and that is not applying to enough scholarships / grants. And I think you could also tie in super-curricular activities such as summer schools and stuff. This is honestly a big regret to me because I've known people who are literally in the same position as me, gotten onto these summer schools, scholarships, and grants that I would have definitely been eligible for, and I don't know why I didn't take them. So I guess the lesson here is kind of similar to this Michael Jordan quote, which I actually have written on my phone, which is, I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying. And I guess that is a really big quote to live by, because even though your chances at any one thing can be pretty low, at least there is a chance than if you hadn't tried at all, which is complete zero. So I wish I had taken upon this quote and acted upon it and just did more with my free time than play games. And partly due to my laziness and partly due to my mentality, I kind of wish I just applied more and taken that chance to see if I could have gotten into where I wanted to be or where I could have been. So, okay, so for my final regret here that I have written, it is not reading enough books. I can actually count how many books I've read on my hands within the past 6 years. And that's saying something, because only this year I have probably read more books this whole year than in my lifetime. And it's kind of shocking to really to realize, because reading for fun is actually way more enjoyable than I actually thought it would be. Because back then I never really had any interest for reading. I was, as I've said before, I was addicted to video games, and that was a pretty big mistake that I've had in life, and I kind of wish I wasn't that addicted, because I actually found out that it's actually way more enjoyable than it seemed to be. I used to think it was this almost chore to read books. Having read a few this year, I've kind of realized that, oh, it's actually pretty nice to know what people have written in the past and learn from others in the form of a book. And I'm currently reading a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And having nearly finished the book, I've learned way more about people than I have had learned in my whole 19 years of living. So I have to say, the whole book world is packed full of knowledge into a few pages. And if there is one takeaway from this video that you guys had, it would be just to read a book. Read a few pages every day. Anyways guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If it added any sort of value into your lives from the minute you started watching this video, I would appreciate a like and a comment as to what it has added into your life. And if you guys have anything to say, be sure to comment down below. I'm sure we can have some great discussion down there. And if you guys like my content, be sure to subscribe, because I'll be uploading a lot more in the future. So if you guys are interested, be sure to stick around for the ride. But anyways guys, that'll be it for this video. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.